Hello, everyone, and welcome to Casino Guru News webinar on all things gambling. Today, we're going to take a look at the fascinating intersection of cryptocurrency and regulated gambling industry, including the possibilities, challenges, and impacts on both customers and businesses. In short, the theme of today's webinar is crypto, the big question of when, not if, and how crypto is entering regulated markets. Just for starters, to put things into perspective, it is necessary to say that in recent years, the worldwide gambling scene has changed dramatically, responding to technology breakthroughs and shifting customer tastes. The introduction of cryptocurrency into regulated gambling markets is one of the most hotly debated topics right now, as cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin are very popular, and the questions arise concerning their role in the gambling industry. Luckily, today we have two guests who will shed more light into this topic, namely Ivan Kurochkin, partner and head of the Eastern Europe desk at 4H Agency. Welcome, Ivan.
Hi, everyone. Pleasure to meet you here. It's my glad pleasure to be here and to share some light on the crypto and how crypto is used in gambling and how it is basically used and how it is interesting for different stakeholders. Our agency, just brief introduction of my agency. We're a boutique consulting firm that is purely focused on serving the members of the gambling industry. In short, our motto, we're opening the markets for new operators, or maybe opening the new markets for our existing operators and expanding their operations in already existing markets.
Great. Thank you, Ivan, and welcome again. And with us is also Osvaldas Kazlauskas. Hi, Oz. How are you today?
Hi there. Thanks. Very well. Thanks for inviting me.
Okay, maybe you could also tell us something a little about yourself, as Ivan already did.
Absolutely. So today I'm representing Coin Payments, is a custodial wallet and crypto payment gateway that's been in the market for more than 10 years, serving all kind of high risk and e-commerce clients. Finally, crypto is reaching the mainstream, and we are getting lots of demand, to provide with the crypto gateway solution.
Thank you both and welcome again. Lastly, let me very shortly introduce myself. My name is Denisa and I work for Casino Guru News, and I will be your moderator today. But the spotlight is on two of you, our experts. Hopefully you're feeling chatty, so this is a fruitful discussion. And I think we are ready to start with our first question. What would you say?
I would be happy to jump into it. Yeah.
Okay, so I would like to start with what I've already mentioned at the beginning, that we have seen a lot of changes in the regulated gambling market around the world lately. But has the question of crypto, its use, how it can be implemented into gambling, has this come up often enough? What do you think? What's your take on all of this this narrative that's right now around crypto? Ivan, please feel free to start.
Sure, would be happy. Well, definitely, crypto is hugely discussing around the world, around the exhibitions. Even we can just name the famous stake.com website and .com operator that is purely focused on crypto. So we can easily say that this is the question which is expandingly rising among the stakeholders, among the governments, among the operators, among the suppliers. So yeah, crypto is heavily discussed in variety parts of the world. There are a lot of events in crypto gambling, and this trend is not changing for now. As example, we all heard about the recent news break about popular rapper Drake. Well, it's not really recent; it happened a lot of time ago, I guess. But in our world, there are a lot of information. Yet it happened not recently, but still, this is a very good example of how it is actually raised. and how he spent, or maybe not he spent, he won 83K worth of Bitcoin on live roulette, and other also streamers and also famous people are discussing this problem and using the crypto in their gambling operations. So I would say yes, definitely this is the question which is usually discussed among the gambling stakeholders, among the operators, among the regulators. To add to that, we also hear every day, we hear news from different parts of the world where the governments, regulators are discussing the problems of crypto and how it can be used and how it can be legalized and how it can be regulated. So basically, governments are trying to impose new and new regulations and new requirements for using of crypto. This is definitely one of the cases related to the usage of crypto, because everybody knows that crypto is so common and it's so popular because of its simplicity and because of its sometimes unregulated status, because it allows you not to use traditional ways of payments, traditional ways of reports, traditional payments of whatever you name it. And that's why the companies are very, very keen to use these kinds of payments. And the governments also try to jump on this boat and to regulate these things and to impose new regulations. Some couple of statistics from my end, which I have found before I was preparing for this webinar. Actually, the crypto gambling market size, the whole, not the gambling, but just the whole crypto gambling market size, is 250 million US dollars. A growing share of the 93 billion is iGaming industry. Over the years, 4% of all gambling has been with crypto, but the percentage is fast increasing. Also, from some researchers, I see that crypto gamblers bet around $3 million worth of crypto daily. And one more, some set of statistics, around 52% of crypto gamblers prefer slots. So basically, I can say that it's definitely the question that is usually rising among the stakeholders, and new governments try to regulate it and to impose new restrictions.
Some facts, some lengthy answers. Thank you very much. Great insights. How about you, Osvaldas?
Yeah,
Do you
great
have anything?
statistics.
Yeah.
Great statistics. Totally agree with Ivan. Here at Coin Payments, we're dealing with casino operators daily. Operators, their suppliers need crypto gateway solution, and we can see that this demand is growing day by day. In a sense, crypto is borderless. It's safe. It's much faster and cheaper than other payment options. So the demand is coming from players worldwide, and the operators have to deal with it. So they have to adopt payment methods based on their operational geolocations. So yeah, great question, and the answer is yes. Crypto payments on demand, and they're being implemented at a staggering pace.
What I would like to add to that also is, because of the statistics that Ivan mentioned, there's a lot of popularity around cryptocurrencies right now. And do you think that the response to it is adequate? It's very popular, yet still cryptocurrencies or crypto gambling specifically is not legal everywhere. It's not maybe regulated as much as it should be, or somebody would like to be. So this discussion that's happening right now, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, I guess one of the pivotal things of popularity of cryptocurrency usage around the players, around the gambling industry, is basically based on the fact that it is still overlooked by the regulators and by the governments. When actually the governments will take a look more closely and try to regulate the things, basically we will jump into the ordinary regulations which governments have in terms of traditional payment methods. So basically, from my perspective, I think that the popularity is, first of all, is based on this fact. This is really true, that because it's unregulated, in some countries it's regulated, some countries it's unregulated. So in general status of not being regulated everywhere, like usual wire transfers or any acquiring methods, it's actually the thing that why it is so popular. The next thing is, I wouldn't say that this is a question obviously to gambling industry. Because if crypto payments are regulated,
Hmm.
these cryptocurrencies can be used for payment of different goods and services in the country.
Yeah,
So
sure.
basically, if we cannot talk separately about regulation of crypto in specifically in gambling industry. Obviously, we're talking about this as we're all from gambling industry.
Yeah.
That is true. But in any case, this is the question related basically to overall legalization of cryptocurrency use within the particular country.
Hmm.
And to add up to that, it's when it comes to iGaming, there's iGaming licenses and those regulations.
Yeah.
So that's what applies in the first place, whether it's a local based licenses or offshore licenses. It does not really have effect which payment methods you use.
Hmm.
First you have to have authority permission to
Yeah.
operate. In certain locations, and
Yeah.
then it comes to crypto. Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. While we're still on the subject of crypto entering regulated markets, which specific areas within the gambling or gaming industry do you believe cryptocurrencies can impact significantly, for the better or for the worse, but significantly? And why? Why would you think that? And I would again like to stress out the word regulated, as some entities think that crypto casinos and crypto itself would significantly increase the risk of unregulated gambling, problem gambling. So maybe just let us focus a little bit about that.
Sure.
Osvaldo,
So
yeah.
basically, yeah, I can start if you are
Yeah,
not
sure,
against it.
sure.
Perfect, perfect. Actually, the undoubtful impact of crypto and gambling is the new financial and payment option, as we already discussed.
Hmm.
Needless to say that this payment option is very convenient for operators and for players due to the faster payouts, reduced risk of chargebacks, low fees, and basic speed of withdrawing.
Hmm.
The swift turnaround enhanced player satisfaction and loyalty, offering a competitive edge in the dynamic and fast-paced landscape of online gaming. That's the first thing to mention. The second big change for interested operators is the possibility to expand their market reach. Obviously, as already was stated, that there are offshore licenses, there are local licenses, and obviously, when we're speaking about local license, there is nothing to expand. You operate on the market,
Hmm.
you have all available payment methods in the country, you
Yeah.
have just general acquiring stuff and stuff like that. Yeah. Speaking of the offshore license, it actually can be the benefit for them because they can outreach more and more countries with their cryptocurrency approach, and they can basically expand into new regions. But despite these benefits, it's quite important to mention that there are drawbacks of these operations,
Hmm.
obviously. Obviously, my colleague will adjust me in terms of the security and in terms of the, I don't know, protection of such payments. But from my understanding that crypto transfers are not so protected like general, I mean, ordinary payment of
Hmm.
methods. And that is going to be the question because sometimes it is impossible to track the particular transaction that which was made or was not made, and the player can have some concerns related to the deposit, which is not fulfilled or maybe already fulfilled. So basically, this is the concern. But in any case, this is the kind of new instrument for players, and players definitely like this kind of method, but it is mostly dedicated to the offshore licenses because
Hmm.
obviously when you operate on the regulated markets with the local license, cryptocurrencies from my experience are not used so often as the general one because if you have like Apple Pay or Google Pay in order to you can deposit to the your gaming account, it will be
Hmm.
much easier to do this by these methods, not by the cryptocurrencies. But maybe my colleague will have something to add on this because he's a representative of the payments company and he definitely knows better than me in terms of the security and in terms of the usage of the cryptocurrencies in traditional iGaming.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can add up to Ivan's thought that it's definitely a good method to reach broader audiences. We see with our operators that are our clients that they can enlarge the client database by up to 20%.
Hmm.
Adding next to credit cards, APMs. Of course, this number is rough. It
Yeah.
it changes per client, their markets where they operate, and their focus. But there are some other practicalities why operators and suppliers, why they would choose crypto methods. So first of all, operators want to accept crypto deposits from their players. They want to offer them withdrawals. In addition to this, there's a tendency to see casinos that are totally crypto, that doesn't have other
Mm-hmm.
methods. So they don't offer any alternative payments and operate only with cryptocurrencies. And beside that, there's also a huge side of the business, which is B2B side, how they pay their suppliers, how they pay salaries. So we see that business prefer to use crypto for B2B transactions more than traditional methods because it is
Mm-hmm.
cheaper, it's faster, and these are two ultimate benefits that any business would choose, to maximize their profits, to optimize their business, and to cut all unnecessary spending.
Yeah. What about the drawbacks?
Drawbacks. I think drawbacks is education. You know, uh,
Mm.
let's
What
say
do you mean
50
by
percent
that?
50% of my clients already know what's crypto, how to use wallets, what are the network fees and all the little parts, that
Mm-hmm.
comes with this technology. And there are 50% that still needs to be educated, that they come up with basic questions, trying to understand how it works. So yeah, this revolution been taking place since 2009, since Bitcoin was introduced. It's been a long time, 11 years, but in the other sense, it's not so much time. Just look how quickly it covered, global businesses, from e-commerce to any type of business. They are now accepting crypto payments, and we see that this only gonna grow.
I have a quick addition to the statement. Maybe I will talk about the elephant in the room, but I will definitely try to speak about that. And what about taxes? Obviously, it's easier for market stakeholders to exchange crypto for different services. But when we speak about regulation and maybe some requests of the tax authorities from different parts of the world, from my perspective, this can cause certain considerations from their point of view. Why are you using cryptocurrencies instead of traditional payment methods that are like actually available? I don't know the answer to this question. Maybe we all know the answer to the question. Let me put it this way. But I think that it's quite a pivotal drawback that right now is on the market because everybody is exchanging USDT with each other, paying for the services. I don't know, topping up the gaming account. But for example, if you operate in one country and you exchange USDT between yourselves, what about taxes? How can they pay it? So this is actually the question which raises among the regulators, and they see these transactions. Well, not see them; they understand that there are such transactions, but they cannot regulate and see them. I don't know. Maybe it is actually one of the drawbacks right now of the crypto. In the same time, it's a benefit, and in the same time, it's a drawback because when you are operating with the usage of the crypto between your partners, between your B2B providers or whatever, there still can be a question from the tax authorities and governments.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is actually my concern that actually we are raising among our clients and they are asking us about this question about the legality of such payments. So from my perspective, it can be a drawback and a benefit at the same time.
Osvaldo, do you have anything to add?
Well, at Coin Payments, we provide full reporting service. So whether your business accept any funds, any wallets, all the balances, at the end of the month, you're able to, automatize and get the report of every incoming, outgoing transactions, and to build a rapport with your tax authorities. So it's pretty simple, and we never heard about this consideration.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's great that you are complying with all the standards, and actually, this actually is helping to use the cryptocurrencies more and more in day-to-day life.
If I may, another question that popped into my mind is whether your companies or places of business have strategically integrated cryptocurrency into your business model, and if so, what motivated this decision?
From my perspective, from perspective of our company, I would say that obviously we are okay to accept both fiat monies and also cryptocurrencies, but I would say that it is the matter of the client we have. If the client is ready to pay in cryptocurrencies, we cannot decline this desire. Basically speaking of some strategic move, as you constructed your question, I wouldn't say that we have a strategic vision for such question. But from our perspective, we actually our activity is based on our client's request. I would put it this way. So if they ask to do this, we definitely can work something out on this and find the relevant ways to accept payments in crypto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we are a crypto company, so
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
we,
yeah.
we try to promote. So we pay our B2B suppliers whenever it's possible. We pay in crypto. We offer employees salaries in crypto. We pay bonus in crypto. So yeah, we on this wave. We try to promote it as much as possible. Especially, we want everybody to be part of this. So we want our employees to be also educated, even though
Mm-hmm.
if they don't have any direct relation, with certain methods. But yeah, we want them to know about it, to learn the benefits. So there's an option, and if they want, they're able to choose crypto over traditional finance.
Yeah. Maybe that's the education that you mentioned before that should be happening around the crypto, just to educate firstly your employees, and they will spread the message to say
Indeed.
it, Yeah. Um, okay, so let's talk more about consumers. I know that we obviously talk about consumers, but my question is that can consumers really, I mean, truly benefit from choosing to use crypto for payments when gambling? And I mean this specifically for online gambling. Doesn't using crypto invite more issues than it solves? I'm interested how you see this, Ivan.
Yeah.
Basic concept of crypto gambling definitely looks appealing for players. That's true. With conventional sites, gamblers often complain about several problems when depositing or withdrawing funds, such as tie down of funds for several days, extra service charges, and extensive third-party verification. Crypto provides faster and more reliable transfer, and double payments are avoided. Third parties are not needed to approve the transfer of the virtual currency when a player makes a deposit on an online gambling site. Digital currency is entirely under the player's control. Lower transaction costs with crypto mean players' expenses are lower. Other benefits like multiple payment methods, blockchain security, etc., can be very attractive for new players. But of course, crypto gambling holds its own risks, and players should understand them before addressing the new payment options. Once again, as I mentioned, there is a high risk of fraud since market and a lot of crypto gambling sites are unlicensed and sometimes are unregulated. Crypto scammers, hackers, possibility of addiction and unresponsible gambling, lack of price protection. It's all the questions which we have to look into. It would be naive to draw a clear conclusion about how protected the player is and how much he should or should not explore new opportunities. Unfortunately, due to the lack of regulation, the crypto gambling market can be dangerous, but so is any offshore and unlicensed gambling, basically. Observing a responsible approach and choosing only proven platforms, crypto gambling will differ a little from the online gambling we are used to. This is my take on this.
Okay, if I have any additional question, I will pose them to you. But for now, let us speak Osvaldas about this.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you compare crypto option with any other available payment method, on one hand, using crypto, you only need to copy wallet address and your transaction will be completed. Uh, if you use credit card, you will have to put credit card details, the number, your name, the CCV number,
Yeah.
etc. Probably also will be asked to provide your email. So if you look from the point of user journey and user experience, what e-commerce, any kind of e-commerce brands that take funds, what do you want to do? They want to cut the steps. They want to make it quicker. They want to make it
Yeah.
instant. So I think what crypto does, it cuts a lot of steps. You just provide crypto address, you copy it, and that's it. Your transaction is done, and usually it takes just a few minutes. Whereas
Mhm.
with banks, it might be taking much longer.
Yeah. So I get the appeal. I get that it's anonymous and it's quick and it's so much. easier maybe than your normal or
Yeah, and
regulated
one more
payment
thing I
method.
forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Just imagine some players, gambling players, would use their credit cards. Then they have problems dealing with their creditors when they want to take a loan or check their credit scores, etc. They will have a little issue because their creditor will say, "Well, we see that you are gambling." So when it
Mm.
comes to crypto, it's much easier. Nobody is like monitoring you. Nobody gonna your bank not gonna know that you've been gambling because you were playing with crypto. So kind of saves you from bank judgment. you know
Yeah, yeah.
May I quickly add? Yes, definitely. The bank will not see that you are gambling, but the bank will see some peer-to-peer transactions related to transfer of these cryptocurrencies into your ordinary way of payments. I will put it this way. But in any case, you're correct. Bank will not see that you are gambling.
Yeah, but I understand that that's beneficial, but I can also see some downsides to this in in for example, in a sense of there's a lack of know your customer procedure, right? That could be a problem. It could be really problem that it's so unregulated that's maybe for customers not benefit, but it creates more problem later on in their gambling journey if they develop some problem or any problem. So my question was or is headed this way, that how can you protect your customers?
they are both protected the same way. Their financial regulations for compliance for casinos is, it doesn't matter which payment method they use. They will still be asked to do KYC.
Hmm.
And when it comes safety and anonymity with crypto, whenever transaction comes on the ledger, whichever blockchain it is, it will be there forever. So,
Hmm.
in the beginning of crypto, it was thought that, terrorists will use crypto money and, all kind of use for illicit
Hmm.
activities. But now they're starting to realize that their transactions will never be erased. And, if there's some investigation being done for what transaction somebody made 10 years ago, they will still find the ends. So it's totally safe. I would say it's totally safe.
Yeah, you would guarantee that people are safe at crypto casinos or with crypto payments in general.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I can,
You,
I can just agree with Osvaldo's takes on this because it definitely he raises the right concerns related to the regulation of the general gambling, which requires to have KYC in place, which requires to have all the requirements related to the identification of the player. And to that, we all know how blockchain works basically.
hmm.
And Osvaldo mentioned actually the right thing that it is in the air forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. Let's shift focus to the next topic. What would you say, both of you, which gambling markets are showing greater openness towards, implementing cryptocurrencies as their accepted payment method in 2024? Um, and I'm asking this because I imagine that the customers we mentioned before in the previous question play an important role, creating demand and so on. But what other factors contribute to this openness? Which markets are in your opinion, open to this?
Uh, my answer, I will start with the division between two categories of such markets. The first
Hmm.
category would be the offshore markets. I mean, not unregulated markets. I mean, they are mostly island countries
Yeah.
which provides for offshore licenses. We can easily name them. It is Isle of Man. It's definitely Isle of Man, and it is Curacao in its new regime, which is yet to be implemented in the future. I guess by the end of 2024, we're gonna adopt some new legislation that will cover the legality of usage of crypto. So basically, these jurisdictions which provide for offshore licenses, they definitely are crypto friendly and crypto open.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the local markets, local countries, I would say that most potential market for crypto gambling implementation are those which have no issue with crypto itself and haven't released any regulation on it. So in places like UK, US, Australia, and Canada, crypto gambling is, I would say, half legal or just legal. However, this comes with exception. For instance, although UK players can legally gamble cryptocurrencies, they can use only a platform that's licensed by the Gambling Commission. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, there are a variety of countries where crypto is illegal in general, like China, like Egypt, like Qatar. Basically, we're talking about some kind of Muslim countries that crypto gambling would be also illegal. Not all, obviously, Muslim countries. We can see the UAE, which actually is very, very, very popular in terms of the crypto payment, but UAE is closed for any gambling. So you have to choose sometimes.
Yeah,
Are you open for crypto and are you open for gambling?
yeah. I'm not sure what kind of situation is in Australia, but I read somewhere that they are banning crypto gambling specifically. I
Oh,
don't
I
know.
haven't heard about it. Maybe some kind of latest news, yeah. But this can be of an issue because right now, Australian gambling regulator is closely looking into the unlicensed gambling. I mean, not unlicensed in their country. They even try to target local payment agents that Curacao companies are
Hmm.
using. We actually are creating in our own in our agency some marketing material related this efforts to put liability on this. Payment agent, but we'll see how it goes. It's always the problem of unregulated gambling, which is
Hmm.
offered in the particular country and basically in Australia as well.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Osvaldas, what are your thoughts on this?
I think countries that are really open for crypto are those that have financial problems that facing like high inflation countries like Turkey,
Hmm.
Venezuela. But in general, I hardly believe there is a place on earth that is so immersed in iGaming but does not use crypto. So
Hmm.
one or the other. So, crypto model is most attractive for developing countries. Um, but it's already some kind of standard in the Western Asia, giving those regions, additional competitive advantage. And I think the rest of the world is following up quickly.
Yeah. Ivan, this question I have prepared is especially for you, but of course Osvaldas will have his floor as well. But I would like to ask you what potential risks do you foresee with cryptocurrency implementation, and what specific measures should be taken to ensure both business side of things, business integrity, and consumer safety. We already mentioned the know your customer procedures, and what else?
Uh, Basically, the anonymity and convenience associated with crypto gambling can lead to the risk of problem gambling. The ease of depositing and playing without traditional verification process, I mean, on the side of the payment, not obviously on the side of the operator, can
Yeah.
lead to uncontrolled spending and potentially dangerous habits. According to the study of the University of British Columbia, which I read some time ago, I guess. Yeah, gambling addiction and impulsive tendencies are led by the online gambling, lead to potential harm for individuals. Uh, Another concern with the crypto gambling is the lack of transparency in their operation. Without clear and open communication about how the platforms operate and how games are conducted, it can be difficult for users to trust that they are being treated fairly. For example, in 2022, the UK Gambling Commission found that the use of cryptocurrencies made it difficult to track and prevent illegal activities, including
Hmm.
money laundering and fraud. So basically, the lack of transparency can lead to users losing their funds and damaging the reputation of the crypto casino industry and basically iGaming industry. Some people, some stakeholders are raising questions that it's obviously with a gaming business that sometimes these gaming websites can be used for money laundering and other illegal activities due to their anonymity and the lack of QIC and AML protocols. But once again, this is mostly the problem with the operators, not the method as well. Obviously, crypto facilitates these things, but from my perspective, it is the particular risk tolerance of the operator, how they operate, how they do KYC, how they do IML procedures. So it's not the problem of crypto, it's the problem
Yeah.
of the particular operators. Yeah, crypto is basically the payment method. That is it. Obviously, this is the new payment method that is used all over the world. But once again, it is light not in crypto. It's light in the particular operator's risk tolerance and risk profile and how they operate and what they particularly wanted to do.
Yeah, totally agree with Ivan. Last time I checked compliance regulations, there's no distinction between bank transfers, credit cards, or crypto. The rules are exactly the same. You know, there need to be B2B verifications, KYB, KYC. So at the end, rules are exactly the same, and I don't think that imposes any more risks than it would be to any other payment method. Companies have to check source of funds. Payment service providers have to collect that information. Operators have to collect KYC. And business in general needs to know and monitor their transactions. So, the rules are the same for everyone. I don't think crypto is getting highlighted here for any risks.
Yeah.
I can also add that from my perspective, crypto can be treated the same way as cash money. Basically, from the perspective of AML and KYC, it's the same. You don't know where this cash come from. You don't know how it was used previously. So for me, crypto and cash, in terms of the risks, not obviously in terms of the particularities of the payment method, are the same in treatment.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. Right now, I'm looking at the time, and we are approaching the end of this webinar. We are running very slowly out of time, but I would like to wrap this discussion on maybe a positive note with two last questions. So, first of all, I would like to ask you if you could give some examples of good crypto implementation in mainstream gambling markets.
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, there are three main ways. So B2B transactions, player deposits, and withdrawals. This is
Mm-hmm.
already a big thing and been going for multiple years. But if you take any top performing casino operator in any market, you will be surprised that they already have multiple crypto providers. So
Mm-hmm.
it's already into mainstream market. The question is when it's gonna become equal competitor to credit cards, as is the most used method worldwide.
And when would you think that would be?
I guess it will take time. Cards are still here. We still now use cards with any mobile wallets. It's still
Mm-hmm.
connected with the cards, So I guess it will stay. Both methods will stay for some time.
Totally agree with Osvaldo's takes on this. But from my perspective, I would just add that we're eager to see how this crypto would be regulated and implemented. Because when we approach the moment when mostly all of the countries would decided to regulate crypto, probably we would face the same problems as we see from the perspective of traditional payment methods. And after that, crypto can become not so popular among, well,
Mm-hmm.
it still be popular. Obviously, customers will get used to this. Operators would be happy to accept, but we will see on the particular requirements related to the usage of such payment methods as crypto.
So you're saying that basically the ball is in the regulators' court right now.
Basically yes, and we need to see it on the peculiarities of the regulation of crypto. Because once again, if it is regulated as traditional payment method, so what's the point of usage of the crypto?
Yeah.
Everybody will use traditional payment methods, or maybe I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And the ball in the court of the regulators and the governments. And one important thing to know that business community, business stakeholders, operators, I don't know, whatever business representative you can name, should definitely take this moment very seriously, and they need to speak with the government, with the regulator, in order to address all the inquiries they have, in order to address all the concerns and problems they are facing. And this dialogue have to be made in a very, very close way with the regulators in order to ensure that this will not happen like the crypto will not be regulated as traditional payment methods.
Yeah. Do you think that there is reluctance on the part of regulators to take this matter into their own hands?
I would say that it differs from market to market.
Hmm.
When, for example, very famous Curacao, Maltese, or I don't know, Isle of Man regulations, they are already equipped to usage of crypto because they need it like a water. They need to do this because there are a lot of operators who are already doing this, and that's why they decided to implement all these regulations. If
Yeah.
we're talking about other markets which are not so used to use of the crypto, they are more reluctant. They don't
Hmm.
want to do this because they need to change the whole framework of the legislation, and basically they need to go to the stage when they are accepting the crypto, not only in gambling but overall, because you cannot accept that you can just accept crypto for gambling, but you cannot
Yeah.
accept crypto for payment of goods and other goods and
Sure.
services. And this is actually the pivotal and very very, very, very important step to be made in terms of the regulation, because it will change the whole framework of the payments regulations in general.
Yeah. Oswaldus, would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. The regulations taking place. Mika was introduced last summer, and this summer it's getting into effect. So it will definitely increase every legal certainty for companies and users that operate in this cryptocurrency market. But it will also help to oversight any crypto asset service providers and promote all
Hmm.
these new technologies to come into place.
Yeah. Okay, so the last question is remaining, and that the question is kind of, well, imagine you have a crystal ball, for the sake of argument, and what would you see in the future for the crypto and gambling industries, and particularly the points where they cross paths? What's in the future for us?
I think the trend has been growing for the last 5 years. Currently, we speak with operators. We see there's about 5 to 20% margin of all payments done that are in cryptocurrencies, and we are confident that these numbers will continue to grow in the upcoming years. So not only this year, but every other year after.
Hmm. So
I can
bright plans.
yeah.
Right, future.
Definitely, totally. I totally agree with Asfaldus on this. And from my perspective, we will see how it goes in terms of the regulation. If the regulation will be strict, we can see a decrease. But if there are no regulations, if there are less regulations, this definitely will grow in numbers and in everything you can imagine.
Great. So there's a lot to look forward to, right?
Indeed.
uh, that was great. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here, offering your perspective. It was great hearing from you, and I personally learned a lot. So one more time, thank you very much, Ivan and Osvaldas as well. Um, and thank you all who watched this webinar for being a part of conversation. Please let us know in the comment section below. What do you think, whether you enjoyed this webinar, and make sure you follow us on social media. Social media are linked below. And don't forget to also subscribe to never miss all things gambling webinar. I will be looking forward to our next session, and have a great rest of the day. Bye.